Hello, my dear dreamer. I'm Emma, your gentle guide through the landscapes of rest. Welcome to Sleeping Therapy by Emma, a sanctuary where weary minds find solace and restless souls discover the art of surrender. Tonight, we embark on a hushed journey through one of winter's most magical gifts, a snowy night in New York. If you're curled beneath blankets, let your breath deepen now. Feel the weight of the day dissolve, your eyelids softening like snow meeting warm pavement, your limbs becoming heavy and warm. New York transforms when snow falls. The fierce pulse of the city slows to a whisper. Skyscrapers become ice palaces. Streetlights wear halos of swirling flakes, and the relentless rush fades into a velvet hush. In the story, you won't just hear about the snow, you'll feel it. The cool kiss on your cheek as you step outside. The muffled crunch beneath imaginary boots. The way twilight turns the park into a frosted snow globe. We'll wander together, but you need only rest. Let my voice carry you through silent streets where brownstones sleep under downy quilts, past shop windows glowing like amber dreams, and into the heart of Central Park where snow-laden branches bow like reverent elders. This is more than a story, dear listener. It's a lullaby woven from winter's breath, a reminder that even the busiest corners of the world hold pockets of profound peace. As we begin, I invite you to release the stubborn thoughts clinging to your mind. Imagine snowflakes melting on your palms, each one a tiny release. Feel the warmth within you growing, gentle and golden. Notice how your shoulders soften like snow settling on a pine branch. Hear the quiet between these words, a space just for your breath. Breathe in the crisp scent of pine and distant wood smoke. Breathe out every worry, every should, every must. New York is holding its breath tonight for you, for this moment of sacred stillness. Feel the radiators hum in your bones. See the snowflakes dissolving on your window like sugar on the tongue. Let your body sink deeper, your mind drifting like a feather on a still pond, your heartbeat sensing to the rhythm of falling snow. You are safe, you are cherished, you are home. This city of steel and light now cradles you in its frozen, tender embrace. Now let the silence between my words cradle you. As we step into the snow together, pause, listen, ... Can you hear it? The first flake landing on the pavement. Let's begin. The story begins not with sound, but with silence. Can you feel it? That sacred pause just before snow truly falls, when the air holds its breath and the city waits. Listen, a single snowflake kisses your window, then another and another, until the glass becomes a tapestry of melting stars. Outside, twilight descends like a soft gray veil. Streetlights flicker on one by one, casting pools of buttery gold onto sidewalks already dusted and white. Fifth Avenue glimmers. Shop windows glow like antique lanterns, a bakery exhaling clouds of cinnamon steam, a bookstore where lamplight falls on dusty spines, a cafe where espresso machines sigh like contented cats. People move in slow motion, scarves wrapped like cocoons, laughter muffled by wool, boots leaving temporary tattoos in the fresh powder. You watch them pass from your own haven, a room where radiators hum lullabies and wool blankets embrace you like old friends. Breathe in cold air, clean and sharp as cut glass. Breathe out a plume of warmth that vanishes like a ghost. You step outside, not to rush, not to chase, but to feel. Snowflakes land on your upturned palm, each a tiny, intricate universe. Lacy as a queen's handkerchief, cool as a moonbeam, melting into a droplet of pure peace. The wind doesn't bite tonight, it sings. A low, tender hymn through the bare arms of Central Park's elms. You follow its call, letting your footsteps fall softly. The snow beneath you yields like powdered silk. Inside the park, winter works its magic. Branches wear sleeves of frost diamond bracelets, catching the last lilac light. The pond glazes over, smooth and dark as obsidian. A lone horse-drawn carriage waits near the mall. The driver sips steaming cocoa from a thermos, his breath puffing like a tiny cloud dragon. The horse stamps softly, harness bells tink-tinking like frozen raindrops. You walk deeper, deeper. Your boots crunch through virgin snow, a rhythm as soothing as a heartbeat. Distant traffic fades, replaced by the she. She of flakes meeting the earth. A holy hush settles over everything. The city's roar is muffled beneath a downy quilt. Let your shoulders drop now, like snow sliding from a pine bough. Feel the cool air fill your lungs, and release. You reach Bethesda Terrace. Stone angels rise from the snow, wings dusted white, faces serene as sleeping children. Beneath them, the fountain sleeps, its water stilled, its basin a mosaic of ice fractals that spiral like frozen galaxies. You sit on a snow-dusted bench, the cold marble seeping through your coat, a gentle reminder to stay present. Ducks paddle slowly across the half-frozen water, then tuck beaks under wings, becoming feathered stones in the twilight. Ice glooms across the water's edge, delicate as lace, complex as dreams, each crystal a tiny masterpiece. Cold air fills your lungs, clean, bright, empty. You breathe out long and slow, and feel yesterday's worries dissolve, tomorrow's lists unravel. They float upward, carried away on snowflakes, vanishing into the violet sky. Feel that lightness, that surrender. Your body is part of the stillness now. Leaving the park, you drift down a side street where brownstones wear crooked caps of snow, chimneys puffing gentle smoke into the darkening blue. Fire escapes transform into frozen lace ladders, icicles glinting like crystal daggers. In one glowing window, a child presses her palm to the glass eyes, wide with wonder at the swirling world outside. She smiles, fogging the pain with her breath. You smile back, a silent exchange of joy in the quiet. Snow piles high on mailboxes, turning them into plump ghosts. Benches vanish beneath drifts. The wrought iron gates of Gramercy Park become frosted filigree. Everything softens, edges blur. Corners round. The world feels kind, wrapped in this forgiving light. A scent beckons you, warm, sweet, buttery, cutting through the crisp air. You follow it like a thread, feet moving almost without thought, to a tiny bakery tucked between a closed florist and a shuttered antique store. Its windows are fogged with warmth, golden light spilling onto the sidewalk. Inside the baker, a man with flour-dusted forearms and a kind, tired face slides trays of golden almond croissants into a glowing oven. The air thickens with vanilla and burnt sugar, caramelized edges promising comfort. He sees you shivering gently by the door and wordlessly pushes a chipped ceramic mug across the counter. Spiced cider. Steam curls like liquid smoke. Sharp ginger bites your tongue first. Then sweet apple soothes it. Honeyed warmth spreading down your throat. You cradle it, letting the heat sear away the cold in your frozen fingers. Outside, snow falls thicker, now great, feathery clumps swirling in the cone of the street lamp, dancing like moths in the amber light. Flakes catch in your lashes, melting into cool tears. You blink slowly, so slowly, the warmth of the mug in your hands, the icy kiss of flakes on your cheeks. The she of the storm beyond the glass. You lean against the bakery's window frame, watching the snow blanket a parked car. It disappears slowly, shape softening, edges vanishing. A metaphor, perhaps. The sharp lines of the day. The rigid thoughts, the urgent tasks. All being smoothed over, buried gently under layers of quiet. Your breath steadies. The cider's heat radiates through your core. Your body remembers how to be still. Your mind, how to be quiet. Not empty, but peaceful. Filled only with the now, the scent of baking dough, the muffled world. The rhythm of your own heart sensing with the snowfall. A snowplow grumbles in the distance, its blade scraping asphalt deep. A resonant thrum that vibrates through the soles of your boots. It passes the end of the street, pushing a wave of white, orange light blinking lazily. The sound fades, leaving the silence even deeper, even more profound. You take another sip of cider. The spices bloom on your tongue: cinnamon, clove, a hint of orange zest, comfort in a cup. The baker hums as he sweeps flour from the counter, a tuneless, contented sound. It blends with the hiss of the oven, the tick-tick-tick of the cooling racks, the soft thump of dough being shaped. These are the sounds of sanctuary. You think of your own bed waiting, the heavy quilt, the pillow cool against your cheek, the promise of warmth and darkness. But for now you stay, rooted in this moment of perfect suspension. The city isn't asleep yet, but it's resting, breathing deeply, letting the snow do its gentle work. You watch a single flake land on the sleeve of your coat. You bring it close to your face, 6 perfect points. A frozen star, a tiny universe born in the clouds, destined to melt on your woven arm. It's beautiful, fleeting, irreplaceable, like this moment, like the quiet settling into your bones. Time stretches. The light in the bakery seems to grow warmer, yellower. The street outside is a tunnel of white. The buildings on the other side mere smudges of gray and brown. A couple walks by, huddled close under one umbrella, their laughter a soft bubble that pops almost instantly in the thick air. Their footprints fill with snow behind them almost as fast as they make them. Ephemeral, gone. You finish the cider, the last sip sweet and sediment thick at the bottom. The warmth has spread to your toes now. You place the empty mug back on the counter with a soft clink. The baker nods, a silent "you're welcome." You button your coat, pull your hat low over your ears, and step back out into the storm. The cold is a shock after the bakery's embrace, but only for a second. Then it's just clean, bright. The snow falls straight down now, no wind to whip it. Big, soft pillows of white. You turn your face up to the sky, closing your eyes, letting the flakes melt on your eyelids, your lips. Coolness seeping into your skin, washing away the last clinging threads of tension from your brow, your jaw. Unclench. You walk without direction, boots sinking deep. The crunch, your only companion. Past darkened shop fronts where mannequins stand like silent sentinels in winter gowns. Past a newsstand shuttered tight, piled high with snowdrifts. Past a church, its stone steps swept clean, light glowing softly from stained glass windows, deep blues and reds painting the snow beneath them. You find yourself at the edge of a small, frozen playground. The swing set hangs motionless, chains frozen stiff. The slide is a smooth ramp of white. A single set of small footprints leads to the top and disappears. Someone's joyful leap into the drift below. You smile, imagining the child's shriek of delight, swallowed instantly by the snow. You walk to the empty bench nearby, brush off a thick layer of snow with your mittened hand, and sit. The cold of the metal bench seeps through your layers, a grounding presence. You watch the snow erase the small footprints, smoothing the surface of the slide, filling the seat of the swing, erasing the day's small marks, offering a blank page, a fresh start. The silence is immense, a living thing. It presses gently against your ears, a soft pressure, not empty, but full. Full of falling snow, full of the city holding its breath, full of the slow, steady beat of your own heart. Thump, 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 sensing with the silent fall of each flake. You feel incredibly small, incredibly peaceful. A single point of warmth in a vast, cold, beautiful world. And yet connected, part of the stillness, part of the snow, part of the sleeping city. Your breath steadies, deepens in the scent of snow, clean and pure out. Every tangled thought, every buzzing worry. Your shoulders drop another inch. Muscles you hadn't realized were tense, finally letting go. Your hands rest loosely in your lap, mittens damp with melting snow. The cold on your face is bracing, refreshing. It clears the last cobwebs from your mind. There's only this bench, this snow, this silence, this breath. A distant church bell chimes the hour. 6 deep resonant bongs that seem to hang in the air, vibrating through the falling snow before fading into the hush. The sound doesn't break the silence. It becomes part of it, a marker in the stillness. Time passing gently like the snow accumulating on your knees. You stay, watching the light change from twilight blue to deep indigo. Watching the street lamps cast longer, more defined pools of gold. Watching the snow continue its relentless, gentle fall. Covering, soothing, quieting. Your body feels heavy now. Pleasantly heavy, anchored to the bench by warmth and weariness. The kind of weariness that comes not from exhaustion, but from deep, deep peace. Your eyelids feel weighted. Each blink is slower than the last. The flakes swirling in the lamplight become hypnotic, dancing, twirling, falling. The warmth from the cider is a soft ember in your belly. The cold is a crisp blanket around you. The contrast is delicious, soothing. Your breathing slows even more. In for 4 slow counts. Hold for 2, out for 6 long slow counts. Feel the tension melt like snowflakes on warm skin. You are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you need to do, being, resting, letting the snowy night hold you. The world narrows. To the snowflake landing on your mitten, to the sound of your own breath, faint as a whisper, to the steady, comforting thump of your heart. Everything else fades, the distant hum you hadn't noticed until it was gone. The vague shapes of buildings, the memory of the bakery's warmth. There is only the now, the cold, the quiet, the gentle, endless fall of snow. Your head nods forward slightly. Just once, a tiny surrender. The snow on your hat brushes your forehead, cool and damp. You don't lift your head. It feels good. Right. Your hands are still in your lap. Your feet are still. Your mind is still, not blank, but calm. A still pond reflecting the falling snow. Thoughts drift in like lazy flakes and melt away just as quickly, leaving no ripple. You are safe. You are warm within your layers. You are held by the night. You are part of the snow's silent song. Just breathe in and out. With the falling snow, let go deeper into the hush. The bakery's warmth is a fading ember in your core as you step back into the storm's embrace. Snow falls with a newfound intensity, no longer tentative flakes, but a determined silent cascade. Great downy pillows tumble from the charcoal sky, softening every sharp angle of the city, swallowing every harsh sound. You walk without destination, guided only by the rhythm of your breath and the muffled crunch beneath your boots. Each step sinks deep, leaving temporary wells that fill almost instantly with fresh white. Fifth Avenue has transformed into a canyon of falling white. The usual relentless stream of yellow cabs is reduced to a few cautious beetles, their tops frosted thick, headlights struggling to cut hazy, truncated cones through the swirling density. Their tires whisper on the packed powder, a low, continuous shush that blends with the storm's own voice. Pedestrians are spectral figures, hunched and bundled, moving through the luminous fog like deep-sea creatures in a slow current. Laughter, when it comes, is muffled, instantly absorbed. The city feels submerged, breathing slowly beneath a downy quilt. Times Square, when you reach its chaotic heart, is rendered almost sacred by the storm's alchemy. The frantic, pulsing energy is smothered under nearly a foot of pristine white. The iconic neon signs bleed their vibrant colors through the relentless blizzard. Smeared rubies, drowned emeralds, watery sapphires, their reflections swimming in the wet. Black pavement patches like abstract, drowned galaxies. The massive digital billboards flicker with ghostly advertisements for perfumes and blockbusters, their messages rendered ethereal, indistinct art installations by the sheer volume of snow. The usual crushing crowds are sparse spectral figures moving with slow deliberation through the luminous, swirling fog. Near the dripping awning of a shuttered ticket booth, a lone saxophonist stands, case open at his feet already dusted white. He plays, eyes closed, cheeks puffing against the cold mouthpiece. The notes that emerge are slow, mournful, yet achingly beautiful. Summertime. Breathed into the frigid brass, the poignant irony hanging warm in the frozen air. You pause, drawn by the raw humanity of it. The melody twists through the falling snow, a fragile thread of warmth in the vast cold. You find a folded bill in your coat pocket, lean down silently, and place it amongst the sparse coins in his open case. The gesture feels like communion. He doesn't open his eyes, but his head dips in a slow, metronome-like nod of acknowledgement. You stand for a moment longer, letting the bittersweet notes wash over you, feeling the contrast between the song's remembered warmth and the winter's bite, a complex emotion that somehow deepens the piece rather than shattering it. The storm absorbs the sound, making it intimate, just for you and the player in this vast white stage. Leaving the surreal spectacle of Times Square behind, you turn down a quieter side street. The shift is profound, immediate. Here, away from the lingering pulse of commerce, the snow reigns unchallenged, its silence absolute. It piles in sculpted drifts against brownstone stoops, transforms parked cars into amorphous, soft-edged white mounds, bends the resilient branches of ginkgo trees lining the sidewalk into graceful, aching arches that groan softly under their icy burdens. Old iron lampposts, crowned with frosted glass globes, wear thick, uneven collars of accumulated snow. Their light, diffused by the swirling flakes trapped within their glow, falls in soft, hazy circles on the pavement below, illuminating the frantic, silent ballet of 1,000 tiny stars caught in amber. It's mesmerizing. You stop beneath one, tilting your head back, watching the endless cascade swirl and dance within its sphere of light, a miniature snow globe universe contained within the larger storm. Look up. High above the street level, the city reveals its intimate, nocturnal life through glowing apartment windows. Each lit rectangle is a small, warm diorama against the indigo canvas of the stormy night. In one third-floor window, a young couple sways slowly in the warm pool of their kitchen light. No music is audible from below, only the silent intimacy of their movement, foreheads touching, eyes closed, swaying to the rhythm of the storm itself. In another window, several floors up, an old man sits bathed in the cool blue glow of a shaded reading lamp. He's lost in the pages of a thick, leather-bound book, spectacles perched precariously on the bridge of his nose. A steaming mug sits forgotten beside him on a small table, tendrils of vapor curling lazily upwards. His stillness is profound, a portrait of quiet contentment. Higher still, perched on the narrow sill of a top-floor apartment, a sleek tuxedo cat is a perfect comma of darkness against the white backdrop beyond the glass. Its tail twitches rhythmically, perhaps dreaming of summer sparrows, utterly serene and regal in its warm, elevated watchtower, surveying the silent transformation of its kingdom. These glimpses into countless private solitudes are like finding scattered jewels in the snow. They speak of warmth, quietude, and the universal human and feline need for sanctuary. Standing on the quiet street below, snow gathering on your shoulders, you feel an unexpected kinship, an unseen thread of shared peace connecting you to these glowing pockets of stillness amidst the storm's vastness. Breathe in deeply now. Draw the cold, clean air deep into your lungs. Feel its sharpness, its purity. Breathe out slowly. A long, visible plume of vapor swirling and joining the falling white curtain. Let that breath carry away any lingering restlessness. Guided by an unseen pull, perhaps the faint, ghostly echo of music carried on a stray gust, you find yourself approaching Washington Square Park. The iconic marble arch, usually a proud, imposing sentinel, has been transformed by the storm into a magnificent, frost-etched ghost. Its classical curves are softened, blurred under thick layers of accumulated snow, its details muted. Frost patterns like delicate lace crawl across its marble surface. Tonight, it seems less a monument and more a gateway into profound stillness. And beneath its grand, snow-draped curve, an unexpected sight, a public piano, its black surface dusted with a fine layer of white powder like confectioner's sugar. Yet it's clearly alive. A young woman sits on the cold bench, her knitted mittens discarded beside her on the snowy ground. Her bare fingers, reddened by the cold, move with astonishing grace and certainty over the icy keys. The music that pours forth is achingly familiar, yet utterly transformed by the setting. Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major. The notes don't fight the bitter cold. They seem to embrace it, drawing clarity and resonance from the frozen air. Each chord, each arpeggio, hangs crystalline and pure, vibrating through the frozen ground beneath your boots, resonating deep within your bones. The melody twists as sinuously around the arch's massive pillars, swirls and dances with the falling snowflakes, becomes the very soul of the storm given voice, imbued with a sorrowful beauty, a profound tenderness, an infinite aching peace. You find yourself leaning against a large snowdrift, sculpted by the wind into a smooth, cold wave, closing your eyes. The music isn't just heard, it's felt. It seeps into the tight, hidden spaces between your whirling thoughts, loosening their grip, washing them smooth and quiet like stones polished by a relentless, gentle river. A prickle of tears stings your cold cheeks, not born of sadness, but from the sheer, overwhelming beauty of this moment, this surrender to art and nature intertwined. The raw vulnerability of the player, the defiance of the cold, the perfect communion of sound and silence. It unlocks something deep within. The profound stillness is suddenly punctuated by the deep, guttural rumble of a snowplow grinding down a nearby avenue. Its heavy steel blade scrapes against the asphalt beneath. The snow, a resonant rumble that vibrates the air itself, a powerful, earthy counterpoint to the piano's ethereal elegance. It's the city's slow, determined heartbeat, a bass note anchoring the storm's soaring symphony. The sound fades slowly as the plow moves away. Intrigued by the path it leaves, you follow its wake down McDougal Street, walking in the temporary corridor it has carved. The snow is piled high and clean on either side like frozen sculpted waves, creating canyon walls of white. Walking here feels like moving through a newly revealed secret passage. Cafes and small restaurants line this quieter street, appearing like islands of vibrant warmth and life adrift in the vast white desert. Their windows are fogged golden from the heat and breath within, framing intimate scenes of cozy communion. You pause outside one such haven. Inside, blurred figures huddle over steaming bowls, perhaps thick, fragrant bean soup, or rich, golden matzo ball broth promising deep comfort. Muffled laughter bubbles up, audible only as a warm hum through the glass. You see the clink of spoons against ceramic, the gesture of a hand reaching up to wipe a clear circle on the fogged window pane. The comfortable slump of shoulders finally released from the day's tension. The rich, savory scent of roasting garlic, onions, and herbs manages to sneak out under the heavy door. A tangible ribbon of warmth and nourishment that cuts through the crisp, clean scent of snow, grounding you. A fragment of conversation drifts out clearly as someone exits, bundled up, letting in a brief gust of cold air and snowflakes. And then he just fell asleep right there in the sled. Warm, shared laughter follows the speaker out, as comforting as the golden light spilling onto the snow-covered sidewalk. Further down the street, a different kind of glow spills invitingly from a recessed doorway below street level. Warm, honeyed yellow light, the faint but insistent thump of a double bass, the smoky, breathy sigh of a saxophone weaving a complex melody. A weathered, hand-painted sign above the steps reads, "The Velvet Note." Curiosity stirs within you, soft and slow like the settling snow. It draws you down the worn stone steps. The heavy, dark wood door groans softly as you push it open, releasing a concentrated wave of sound and scent that envelops you instantly. Rich, complex, deeply inviting. Vanilla-scented pipe tobacco, aged supple leather, spilled bourbon drying on wood, the faint, warm smell of damp wool from drying coats. The air inside is thick, warm, deliberately dim, lit mostly by small lamps on the tables and a spotlight over the small stage. A jazz trio is immersed in their craft, a double bass player plucking deep, resonant notes that thump against your chest. A drummer using brushes on the snare, creating a sound soft as kitten fur rustling. And a tenor saxophone player, eyes squeezed shut, face a mask of concentration and feeling, lost deep within the melody. It's slow blues, a late-night lament transformed by skill and soul into something deeply comforting, even joyous in its melancholy. The notes curl lazily around the low, beamed ceiling, wrap themselves around the patrons hunched over small, dark wood tables, and seep into the very fabric of the crimson velvet booths, deep in a dream. The singer's voice is a revelation, a low, velvet rasp, like smooth stones tumbling in warm honey. It carries a lifetime of stories in its grain, dot dot of snow and you, where the world is white, dot 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 and the sky is true. The lyrics resonate in the warm, smoky air. You scan the intimate space and spot an empty booth tucked away in a shadowed corner near the back, upholstered in worn but still plush crimson velvet. It looks like an embrace waiting to happen. You weave through the close-set tables, shrugging off your heavy, snow-dusted coat as you slide into the booth. It does embrace you, swallowing you whole in its deep comfort. The cold, damp patches where snow melted on your coat sleeve are instantly forgotten. The music swells around you now, immersive and all-encompassing, the visceral thump of the bass resonating deep within your chest cavity, the saxophone's yearning cry, a bittersweet balm smoothing over any residual ragged edges inside, the whisper-soft sizzle of the cymbals mimicking the sound of falling snow amplified 100-fold. A waiter materializes silently beside the booth, places a heavy-bottomed glass of ice water beating with condensation before you with a barely perceptible nod, and melts back into the dimness. You lift the cool glass, the chill shock against your palm after the enveloping warmth. You take a sip. It's pure cold clarity. The contrast with the warm, smoky, richly scented air is exquisite, heightening both sensations. Your body sinks deeper into the velvet embrace of the booth. It's as if the accumulated tensions of the day, the faint persistent tightness in your neck and shoulders, the slight ache settled in your lower back from hours of standing or sitting, begin to liquefy and drain away under the relentless soothing massage of the sound. The saxophone player launches into a solo, long and languid and hurried. It unwinds like a spool of dark silk, telling a wordless story of longing, resilience, and ultimate release. You find your gaze drawn to the high, narrow window near the ceiling. Snow is piling thickly against the outside pane, a relentless, shifting curtain of white. The world beyond that glass ceases to exist. There is only this cave of sound, scent, and warmth, this sanctuary carved out of the storm. The singer returns to the microphone, her voice softer now, more intimate, almost speaking the lyrics rather than singing them, drawing the audience closer. Let the storm rage. ... outside the door. We got this fire. ... don't mean no more. Your eyelids grow heavy, not with exhaustion, but with a profound, honeyed relaxation that seeps into every muscle and bone. The music isn't demanding your attention. It's inviting surrender, offering a current to drift upon. Each note, each resonant thump of the bass feels like a gentle nudge deeper into the yielding velvet embrace of the booth, deeper into the warm, welcoming darkness gathering behind your closed eyes. The low murmur of other patrons, clinking glasses, soft laughter, murmured conversations fades into a soothing, indistinct river of sound, a background hum you float upon effortlessly. The saxophone cries out again, a soaring, melancholic line, but it's a cry that soothes, that acknowledges the world's inherent ache and then dissolves it in a wave of pure, shared beauty. It speaks of understanding, not despair. Time loses its rigid structure, its grip loosening minute by minute. A song ends. Gentle applause rustles through the room like dry leaves skittering across pavement. The musicians exchange quiet nods. Another song begins, slower, deeper, more introspective. This one is led by the bass, a resonant, grounding thump, thump, thump that vibrates up through the wooden floorboards, traveling through the legs of the booth and into your spine. It's a primal rhythm, a heartbeat echoing the city's slowed pulse beneath the snow. Your own breath unconsciously sinks to its steady pulse. In, thumb out, THU. The lingering chill you carried in from the street is a distant memory, a story from another time. You are utterly cocooned, protected, adrift on a warm sea of sound. The singer's voice returns, cutting through the bass-like meditation. It's lower now, softer, a whisper amplified by the deep stillness she commands within the room. Hush now, darling. ... Let it all go. Feel the snow fall. ... Soft and slow. Nothing matters. ... But this right here. Just this moment. ... Hold it dear. Her words aren't just lyrics. They feel like an invocation. A sacred permission slip to release everything. The weight of the past, the anxieties of the future. The snow piled high against the window blurs in your vision. The smoky light in the club seems to soften further, wrapping everything in a gentle haze. The very boundaries of your body feel less distinct, less solid. You feel yourself merging with the yielding velvet of the booth, with the warm, tobacco-scented air, with the resonant thrum of the bass vibrating through the wood. A deep, involuntary sigh escapes your lips, so soft it's lost in the music. It's the sound of a final, tightly clenched knot deep inside untying itself, dissolving into the warmth. Eventually, as the final notes of the set hang in the air and dissolve into respectful applause, a gentle stirring occurs within the club. The musicians begin packing their instruments with quiet reverence. Patrons stir, pulling on coats, voices hushed, faces relaxed. The spell remains unbroken, merely shifting. You emerge slowly from the deep embrace of the booth, your limbs feeling loose, liquid, your mind quiet and still as the deepest path in Central Park buried under fresh snow. You pull on your coat, the damp patches cool against the warmth of your skin beneath, a grounding sensation. Nodding silently to the bartender who catches your eye, you push open the heavy wooden door and step back out into the storm. The cold air hits your exposed face, a shocking, bracing splash of reality after the club's womb-like warmth. But it feels different now, cleaner, sharper, more alive and strangely welcome. The storm hasn't lessened. If anything, it's intensified during your time inside. Snow falls in thick, relentless, silent sheets, muting the world completely, reducing visibility to mere feet. The street is a swirling tunnel of pure white, the buildings on either side reduced to mere suggestions of darker shadow. Your footprints from earlier, leading down these steps, are utterly gone, erased as if you'd never passed this way. The city feels newborn, untouched, profoundly sacred in its frozen silence. You tilt your face up to the obscured sky once more, closing your eyes. Snowflakes catch instantly on your eyelashes, melt into cool trails on your cheeks, land perfect and crystalline on your tongue, dissolving with a tiny burst of cold purity. Each one feels like a tiny fleeting miracle. You realize the habitual tension is completely gone from your jaw. Your brow is smooth and unfurrowed. You feel incredibly light, washed clean, renewed, cradled by the sheer immensity of the ongoing storm, held securely in the silent, dreaming heart of the great slumbering city. The velvet note's warmth still glows within you, a counterpoint to the outer cold, a perfect equilibrium. Feel it now. Truly feel it. The deep, resonant peace settling into your very marrow. The quiet hum of your own contented being, vibrating in harmony with the silent night. The world outside your window, reduced to its purest elements. Snow and breath. Begin to walk, slowly, so slowly. Let each step be a meditation, a conscious sinking into the yielding snow. Let each breath be a silent prayer of thanks for the enveloping stillness. You are exactly where you need to be in this vast, white moment. You are exactly who you need to be. Perfectly present, resting, being, utterly held and safe within the storm's frozen, tender embrace. The door of the velvet note sighs shut behind you, sealing away the warmth and music into a memory. You stand at the base of the steps, engulfed by the storm's intensified embrace. Snow falls in thick, relentless curtains, no longer individual flakes, but a solid wall of white silence. The world has vanished. Buildings are spectral shadows. Street lamps are smudged halos in the void. Your earlier footprints have been erased as if by a celestial hand, leaving the sidewalk a blank parchment of perfect white. You take your first step into the void, boots sinking knee-deep, the crunch now utterly muted, absorbed by the depth. This isn't walking, it's swimming through frozen clouds. You navigate by instinct, guided by the faint, remembered grid of the city beneath your feet. The cold air bites your cheeks, a clean, sharp contrast to the club's smoky warmth still glowing within your core. It's exhilarating, cleansing. You tilt your face upwards, closing your eyes, letting the snow blanket your skin. Each flake melts instantly on contact, 1,000 tiny baptisms washing away the last clinging residue of the day. Your jaw is slack, your forehead smooth. The tension has not just left. It feels like it never existed. Breathe in. The air is so cold it sparkles in your lungs. Breathe out. A plume of vapor that vanishes into the swirling white. A low, resonant thrum vibrates through the solace of your boots. It's the subway, far below, a muffled heartbeat pulsing through the frozen earth. The sound is comforting, a reminder of the city's hidden life, its warmth and movement persisting even under this frozen shroud. You follow the vibration like a subterranean current, letting it lead you eastward, past darkened storefronts where mannequins stand like ice queens in frost-rimmed gowns. Past a lone diner, its neon, open, sign a blurred pink smudge. Booths occupied by silent figures hunched over steaming mugs, their reflections ghostly in the fogged windows. Past a fire hydrant transformed into a comical snowman by anonymous hands, a carrot nose and coal eyes peeking out. You smile, a quiet bubble of warmth rising in your chest. The rumble beneath your feet deepens, becoming a constant companion. The snow seems to thin slightly as you approach the river, the relentless density broken by the vast openness ahead. And then you see it, or rather feel its presence before its form emerges from the whiteout. The Brooklyn Bridge. Its Gothic stone towers loom like ancient sentinels materializing from a dream, their summits lost in the swirling snow clouds. The suspension cables, thick as ancient tree trunks, glisten with a sheath of ice, transforming into crystalline harp strings strung between the worlds of Manhattan and Brooklyn. You step onto the pedestrian walkway, elevated above the vehicular lanes below. The snow here is deeper, wind sculpted into smooth dunes that crest over the wooden planks. The usual roar of traffic is utterly absent. The bridge is a cathedral of silence and snow. The only sounds are the shush-shush of your boots through the powder and the faint, mournful groan of the wind vibrating through the icy cables, a deep, resonant hum like the earth itself sighing. Midway across, you stop. Leaning against the ice-crusted railing, you look out. Below, the East River flows black and secretive between its frozen banks. Great chunks of ice, like miniature Arctic floes, drift slowly downstream, catching the hazy glow of the bridge lights before vanishing into the gloom. A solitary tugboat chugs northward. Its work lights weak yellow stars in the blizzard, its horn emitting a single low, foggy moan that hangs in the air before dissolving into the storm's silence. The sound is lonely yet deeply peaceful. Turn your gaze westward. Manhattan's skyline emerges through the veils of snow, not as sharp pinnacles, but as a mystical mountain range sculpted from light and shadow. The Woolworth Building's crown glimmers faintly, a frosted wedding cake. The Empire State Spire is a ghostly needle piercing the low clouds. The Chrysler Building's Art Deco peaks are soft and almost mythical, like the ice palace of a sleeping giant. The millions of windows, usually a frenetic tapestry of light, are muted, blurred, transformed into a constellation of smudged stars seen through frosted glass. The city isn't just sleeping, it's dreaming under its thick white blanket. Feel the immensity, the vast, quiet beauty of this sleeping giant. Let it humble you, let it calm you. Your own smallness is a comfort here, part of something vast and peaceful. The wind picks up slightly on the exposed bridge, whistling a higher note through the cables, carrying stinging pellets of snow against your face. It's time to move on. You continue across, the Brooklyn Tower growing larger, more solid. Emerging from the bridge's embrace, you enter the quiet streets of Dumbo. Cobblestones, usually hard and unforgiving, are buried under deep, soft snow. Old warehouse buildings, their brick facades dusted white, loom like sleeping giants. You pass Jane's Carousel, silent and still within its glass pavilion, its painted horses frozen mid-gallop under the soft glow of internal lights, a jewel box of stillness. Turning south, you climb the gentle slope into Brooklyn Heights. The transformation is immediate. The frantic energy of Manhattan feels worlds away. Here, brownstones line the streets like dignified elders, each adorned with a thick crooked cap of snow. Wrought iron fences wear fluffy white mittens. Stoop steps vanish beneath smooth drifts. Warm light spills from parlor windows, painting golden rectangles on the pristine white sidewalks. In one window, a single candle flickers on a mantelpiece, a tiny, unwavering vigil of peace in the storm. The air is quieter here, thicker with silence. The snow absorbs even the memory of sound. You walk down Willow Street, the name suddenly apt as snow-laden branches of ancient trees bow low overhead, creating a tunnel of white, a nave in this cathedral of winter. Your footsteps are the only punctuation in the profound hush. Crunch, pause, crunch, pause. A rhythm as slow and steady as your own heartbeat. A sound pierces the silence, pure, clear, fragile. A violin. The notes are tentative at first, then gain strength, weaving through the falling snow. Vivaldi's Winter. The melody spirals upwards from an open second-floor window, not the full concerto, but a solitary voice practicing, the notes sometimes faltering, sometimes soaring with aching beauty. It's the sound of focused solitude, of someone finding their own peace within the storm. You stop beneath the window, head tilted back, snow dusting your hair and shoulders, listening. The cold air carries the sound with crystalline clarity. The music speaks of icy winds and crackling fires, of the stark beauty and introspection of the season. It resonates deep within your chest, a vibration that harmonizes with the quiet hum of your own being. The violinist reaches the end of a phrase, a pause. Then they begin again, more confidently this time. You move on, carrying the echo of the melody with you, a thread of beauty woven into the fabric of the night. You find yourself drawn towards the Brooklyn Heights promenade. The entrance is a snow-choked archway, but you push through drifted powder, emerging onto the long, open walkway overlooking the harbor. The view takes your breath away. Before you lies the full, majestic sweep of Lower Manhattan, draped in white and shimmering through the thinning snowfall. The storm is finally easing. Clouds tear like ragged gauze, revealing patches of indigo sky salted with fiercely bright stars. The moon, nearly full, emerges, a colossal pearl casting a path of liquid silver across the dark, ice-dotted waters of the harbor. It illuminates the snow-covered skyline with an ethereal blue-white radiance. The Statue of Liberty stands sentinel in the distance, her torch a faint, hopeful star in the gloom. The Brooklyn Bridge, which you just crossed, is a breathtaking spectacle from here, its illuminated cables and towers reflected perfectly in the still dark river below, creating a shimmering, symmetrical dreamscape. The ice on the cables glitters like diamond dust. The wind off the harbor is sharper here, carrying the briny scent of the sea beneath the snow's purity. It cuts through your layers, a bracing reminder of the world's raw edge. But the view holds you captive. The sheer, silent grandeur of it, the sleeping city, the vast expanse of water, the celestial dome above, fills you with a profound awe. It's a perspective that shrinks worries, that hushes the internal chatter. You are a witness to majesty. Breathe in this vastness, let it expand within you, filling every corner, pushing out every small, clinging thought. There's only beauty, only stillness, only this. Fatigue, a deep and pleasant heaviness, begins to seep into your bones. It's not the weariness of exhaustion, but the satisfying heaviness of profound peace, of a journey nearing its natural end. Your limbs feel warm within your clothes, yet the cold on your face is refreshing. You find a snow-dusted bench facing the panorama, partially sheltered by a bent evergreen laden with snow. You brush off a thick layer with your mittened hand, a soft whoosh, and sit. The cold of the stone bench seeps through your layers, a grounding counterpoint to the warmth within. The quiet is immense, oceanic. The distant sounds, the faintest hum from the bridge. The occasional mournful horn of a ship far out in the harbor only deepen the sense of profound silence. The moon bathes everything in its cool blue-white light. The snow on the promenade, on the rooftops, on the distant skyscrapers, sparkles like a billion crushed diamonds scattered by a giant's hand. The city's usual frantic energy is replaced by a deep, resonant calm. It feels ancient, eternal. You scoop up a handful of snow from the bench beside you. It's light, dry, perfect powder. You pack it gently, not to make a ball, but just to feel its yielding resistance, its granular cold seeping through your wool mittens. You hold the packed snow in your palm, a compact moon of your own. The cold bites, but it's a clean, simple sensation, a reminder you are here, present in this body, anchored in this moment. You let the snowball rest in your lap. Looking out at the moonlit harbor, your mind grows wonderfully quiet. Thoughts drift in like the last stray snowflakes. A memory of the spice cider's warmth, the mournful cry of the saxophone, the child's hand against the fog glass, but they don't stick. They land, shimmer for a second like a snowflake catching the light, and then melt away, leaving no trace. Your focus narrows to the rise and fall of your own breath, the gentle pressure of the snowball in your lap, the mesmerizing sparkle of the moonlit snowscape. A squirrel, bold despite the hour and the cold, darts across the promenade in front of your bench. Its tiny paws leave perfect, intricate tracks in the fresh powder, miniature hieroglyphs telling a story of nocturnal foraging. It pauses, sits up on its haunches, dark eyes glinting in the moonlight, a puff of vapor rising from its nose. It looks at you for a long moment, unafraid, then scampers off, its tracks stitching a delicate pattern before vanishing under a snow-laden bush. The simplicity, the wildness of that small life touches something deep within you. The cold from the bench and the snow in your lap is deepening, moving beyond refreshing to a more insistent chill. It's a gentle nudge. The warmth of your bed, the weight of your quilt, the promise of deep, dreamless sleep calls to you from across the river. The journey has been beautiful, peaceful, profound. Now the body whispers its need for true rest. You rise slowly from the bench, your muscles protesting slightly, stiffened by the cold and stillness. The snowball in your lap tumbles softly to the ground, landing with a quiet puff. You leave it there, a small, temporary monument on the moonlit promenade. You take one last, long look at the sleeping city across the water, the bridge draped in light and ice, the moon's silver path on the harbor. You breathe it in, the cold, the stillness, the vast beauty. Thank you, you whisper silently to the night. Thank you for this peace. Turning, you begin the walk back towards the bridge, towards home. The streets of Brooklyn Heights are even quieter now, if possible. Windows that were glowing are dark. The violinist has stopped. The only light comes from the moon and stars, and the reflected glow from the snow itself. Your footsteps are slow, measured. The pleasant heaviness is increasing, settling into your limbs like the snow settling on the branches. Each step feels deliberate, a conscious sinking into the peace that now fills you completely. The journey inward is almost complete. The sanctuary of sleep awaits just across the river, just down the quiet streets, just under the waiting quilt. Feel the weight, the good weight, of peace, of stillness, settling deeper with every slow step, with every soft breath. You are almost home, almost home. The walk back across the Brooklyn Bridge is a journey through a crystal dream. The storm has gentled to scattered flurries fat, lazy flakes spiraling down through the moon-washed air. The bridge's icy cables shimmer like braided starlight. Below, the East River flows black and silent, carrying moonlit icebergs out to sea. Your footsteps echo softly in the vast stillness crunch. Pause, crunch, a rhythm syncs to your slowing heartbeat. Manhattan rises before you, no longer a mountain range of light, but a sleeping beast breathing softly under its blanket of white. Woolworth's crown glows faintly. The Empire State Spire is a silent sentinel piercing the indigo. Windows are mostly dark, now only a few scattered embers of life still flicker. Feel the immensity of this quiet, let it enter you, filling your bones, slowing your pulse. You're part of the city's dream. As your boots touch Manhattan soil again, the streets feel different, sanctified. The snowplows have been through, carving narrow canyons between walls of pure white. You walk down a cleared path on Water Street, the financial district's towering cliffs looming dark and silent. The usual echoes of finance are gone, replaced by the soft plop of snow sliding from a gargoyle's stony jaw. The distant chime of a flagpole rope tapping against metal in a stray breeze. Moonlight paints the snow bloom's shadows, gold where it catches the glow of a security lamp. A lone taxi glides by, tires whispering on the packed powder, its yellow shell muted under frost. The driver's face is calm, bathed in dashboard glow. He offers a nod as he passes, a silent acknowledgement of the shared, sacred quiet. You turn north, drawn towards home. Through Stone Street, its cobblestones buried deep, gas lamps casting long, dancing shadows. Past Trinity Church, its graveyard a peaceful sea of white, ancient headstones wearing thick, soft caps, the spire pointing like a silent finger to the star-strewn sky. The cold is deepening, the air so still and clear it feels like breathing glass. Yet within your layers, warmth holds a core of contentment radiating from your center. Breathe in the clean, icy air, sharp as starlight. Breathe out every last whisper of thought, every shadow of care. Let them float away with the last snowflakes. You enter Greenwich Village. The streets narrow, brownstones huddle closer. Here, the snow feels intimate, nestling in window boxes. Frosting fire escapes into lace. Warmth still bleeds from some windows, a late reader under a lamplight, a couple sharing wine by a flickering candle. The blue glow of a television casting moving shadows on a ceiling. You pass the tiny bakery from earlier. It's dark now, but the ghost of cinnamon and yeast still lingers in the frozen air. You smile, remembering the spice cider's heat spreading through your frozen fingers. That warmth is still with you, a small golden ember in your belly. Your street appears, familiar yet transformed. Your building stands sentinel, its brick facade dusted sugar white. One window glows softly on the third floor yours. A lamp left on, casting a honeyed square of light onto the untouched snow below. It's a beacon, a promise. Home. You climb the front steps, brushing snow from the iron railing. The vestibule door opens with a soft click, releasing a wave of comforting warmth and the faint, familiar scent of wood polish and old books. Upstairs, your door unlocks smoothly. You step inside, sanctuary. The warmth wraps around you, instantly a physical embrace. Radiators tick softly. The faint hum of the refrigerator is a grounding drone. You shed your winter armor, coat heavy with melted snow, scarf damp, boots crusted white. You leave them by the door, a small, melting monument to the journey. On the small table by the window, a mug waits. Hot cocoa, still steaming faintly, whipped cream melted into velvety islands. Beside it, a sprig of pine fresh and sharp snowing. You carry the mug to the window. Outside, the world is utterly still. The moon, now high and brilliant, hangs over Central Park, transforming it into a Narnian landscape. Trees stand in frozen majesty, branches lifted in silent praise, draped in ermine. Snow sparkles on the rooftops across the street, a billion tiny diamonds scattered by a generous hand. Distant skyscrapers are smudges of indigo and silver. Not a car moves, not a siren wails. The only sound is the occasional soft thump of snow sliding from a roof edge, landing with a muffled humph in the drifts below. You sip the cocoa. Rich, dark chocolate. A hint of vanilla. The warmth spreads through your chest, down your arms to your fingertips. It mingles with the inner warmth already glowing. You watch the moon trace its slow arc. Your breath fogs the cold glass. You draw a tiny, sleepy, smiley face in the condensation. It fades almost instantly. Feel the heaviness, the delicious, irresistible weight settling into your limbs. Your eyelids, like lead, yet soft. Your shoulders melting. Your jaw unclenched. Your breath deep, slow. Steady, the mug is empty. The last vestiges of cold are gone. It's time. You move through the quiet apartment, turning off the lamp, leaving only the soft moonlight streaming through the window. The bedroom door sighs open. Your bed waits, a haven of flannel sheets, a down comforter plump as a cloud, pillows cool and welcoming. You slip under the covers. The weight of the quilt settles over you, a comforting pressure, a gentle embrace. The cool pillowcase feels blissful against your cheek. You nestle deep, body finding its familiar contours. The radiator under the window purrs softly. The moonlight paints a silver rectangle on the floor. Outside, the absolute silence holds. A perfect, unbroken hush. The descent into sleep, beautiful sleeping words, final 150 words. Let the snow outside be your blanket, cool, pure, infinitely soft. Let the moon be your nightlight, gentle, silver, watching over you. Let the city's deep, dreaming breath become yours. In slow and deep, out long and soft, Feel your body sinking deeper, deeper into the warm, welcoming mattress, like a stone settling onto a riverbed. Peaceful, still held, feel your mind softening, thoughts drifting like snowflakes on a still pond, landing, melting, vanishing into calm, clear water, nothing to hold, nothing to solve. Only this breath in, this warmth, out, this safety. In, you are deeply loved. Out, you are utterly safe. In, your home. Out, listen to your heartbeat, the softest drone, thump, thump, thump. Slower, softer, sensing with the snow's silent fall. Stars blink above the sleeping city. You blink with them. Slower, slower. Now, let your eyelids stay closed, dear dreamer. Let go of every flake of thought, every whisper of the day. Just drift on the river of moonlight, carried on the breath of the night, into dreams as soft, as silent, as deep as the snow. Good night. Sweet, deep, restoring dreams, my friend. May you wake renewed.